like it's going to be a pretty morning. Was able to sleep in today. Oh. And I'll tell you what, it felt really good sleeping in. Waking up with a quiet mind. I don't often wake up with a quiet mind. I usually wake up with thoughts bouncing around my head. Tell you, I'm really pleased since I added the sleeping bag to my might not look that good as my comforter, but the extra layer of warmth is worth the I don't know, slightly less decorative flavor, if you will, of a glossy sleeping bag. But it's nice to sleep under. Washed my sheets and my pillow covers and my comforter the other day. Put an extra shot of Downy in. They smell really good. I hear my coffee just finishing up in the other room. Maybe we should go get some. Who's on? Hello, Jake, and good morning, WMCC. How are you? I actually wasn't in a huge hurry to get out of bed. I had a friend reach out to me who was up early this morning and messaged me what she's listening to her on her walk and notes she'd taken during her Bible study. Does a every morning Bible study. I wonder if that's her just sitting there reading the words and taking notes, or somehow doesn't get together in a group at 4:30 in the morning. It's one committed group of Christians, I'll tell you that. I responded that God blessed me with a quiet night's sleep, or with extra sleep and a quiet mind. She sent me a picture of some trail she's on with the sunrise and how she loves this morning. I mean, I'm proud of her out there doing her Bible study early and hiking or walking and taking pictures of sunrises and what have you, but I'm pretty happy that I was able to sleep in this morning, I'll tell you that. Good morning, Jim Rat. Good morning, 55. Good morning, WMCC. For those that question my vision, I'm probably 4 feet away from my phone, and I just was able to use my supervision. Good morning, Rebecca Tilley. Use my supervision to decipher the who's hopping on this morning and who's not. I mean, honestly, if I hadn't already pushed live, I could easily just lay down and chill out in my bed. I don't necessarily need any more sleep or even want any more sleep. But had I not wanted to miss my children's FaceTime this morning, I probably wouldn't be up at all. I'd probably be still chilling. But it's Monday morning. It's a big week for me. Might as well get started and head on. Get going. I don't know what I want to say. don't even know what I want to say. Let's get out of my bedroom. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Well, thank you, WMCC, for appreciating the vision that I do have. It's weird. I used to not go anywhere without my reading glasses. Hold on, I better get my coffee and my water. I can set up my link and my lighting and my fireplace and do all that. But I'd feel a little better if I got my coffee and my ice water over there. No reason to punish myself. Hold off for my coffee. That sounds like madness. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl last night? I tell you what, it was a snoozer. Again, I didn't care too much. I was super excited though that I was able to watch it. Maybe the powers that be at YouTube will appreciate me saying this, but I 2 days ago signed up for YouTube TV. I think I'm gonna like YouTube TV. It's like cable without cable. Yeah, but it was as far as a game goes, it's funny because there's so much build up to it. Hold on here. What am I gonna do? Put that down. Get my phone. That was a little trickier than you know. You can't even imagine what I had to put up with to make that move. If I wasn't amazingly fit, I couldn't have done it. Somebody said Super Bowl went woke, anti-American BS. See, okay, they had Green Day performing in the open, and they got a song, American Idiot, but whatever. And then they had, they had kind of like weird colored stuff around. Was that for Pride? I don't overly care about, I want everyone to feel proud. I don't think you need to be some weird letter to feel pride, or if you consider yourself a weird letter, you can be proud too. I don't know why we need a club for it, but the only thing, I felt the colors were kind of weird looking on the field. Like there was a lavender and stuff like that. The colors were strange. I guess that's what, if anything, got me. I thought that weird logo, I don't even know what that means, that it's all over this weird color. And maybe it wasn't even for Pride, but maybe it was. But yeah, there was so much buildup about this Bad Bunny. I swear it's a marketing ploy. I don't know, it's just some Latin guy doing some sort of all in Spanish song. I didn't see how it was like anti-American or woke at all, really. From all the buildup, I'd expect him to burn a flag or say in English that America sucks or something. But it was just I don't know. Ricky Martin was even there. I kind of like Ricky Martin. Isn't it called American football for a reason? Well, I got to start my, let's see. He directly related to Venezuela. Well, I don't know. I watched it. I didn't see any. I mean, I couldn't even understand what he was singing, and I know Spanish. Winning the hearts and minds of Latinos. All right, well, that's fine. You know, I didn't see anything. I honestly think, you think they were trying to expand their Hispanic audience with the halftime show. You watch the alternative show. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt that they were trying to expand their Hispanic audience, but it didn't seem anti-American. You know, it was, and honestly, I don't know why he's called Bad Bunny. I think that was a bit of a marketing ploy. He just seemed like, I don't know, somebody, you know, cross between Ricky Martin and who was the singer from like Miami? She's a woman. But I just didn't find, I mean, it just seemed like a Super Bowl halftime show where I did not know the artist at all. I wasn't, I mean, I don't think I would have been offended anyway. I'm not so easily, I mean, I kind of just, I'd say, well, obviously it's me, I'd say I have a perfect viewpoint of most things. You're saying you're glad you didn't watch it, but why? I mean, Nancy said it was entertaining. Yeah, I mean, it's not my type. It looked weird. It looked almost like it was AI, you know. There was a little bit of ass shaking done. But I mean, I like watching asses shake as much as the next guy, so I certainly didn't find that offensive. I didn't see any imagery that, I don't know, anyone would overly find offensive at all. As a matter of fact, you know, at the end, he went through all the countries of the Americas, and they had all the flags flying. You know, I thought that was more unity than I don't know, anti anything. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I just didn't know the dude. I certainly didn't know his song. And even though I speak Spanish, I don't exactly speak it. I can kind of speak it if you're talking slowly to me. But, yeah, I didn't find it problematic at all. I don't know why anyone would. I mean, maybe he was saying America sucks in Spanish, but I don't think so. Wouldn't that be funny? That was the chorus. Estados Unidos es muy malo. Estados Unidos es muy malo. Tonto, feo y aburrido. But it wasn't like that. Hold on here, I'm getting set up. You like the commercials? Any commercials? Anybody really? I kind of like Kurt. I like Kurt Russell maybe, and that he was in there in one I thought was entertaining. I wasn't drinking. Okay, that's maybe my issue. I don't smoke weed or drink alcohol anymore. And I think, you know, Super Bowl parties and maybe drinking and smoking made me more excited for the big event. And without drinking and smoking, it was just kind of a rather boring football game, I thought. I mean, I'd say an exceptionally boring football. Right? I actually fell asleep near the end. Tried to turn it to something on YouTube and decided, what the heck, I don't need to watch the last 15 minutes of it. New England can't score to save their lives. So since Seattle has some points on the board, there's no way New England can win because New England does not know how to score and their quarterback sucks. He was second in the MVP balloting. I can't believe it because he looked horrible. Hold on here, I'm working on something super important. I am working on the most important thing ever. I'm not really. I'm not really at all. Don't get caught up in the hype. I'm just putting a link for a shameless plug on my comments. I'm just putting see, that's an echo. You guys don't like the link for the shameless plug? Find another channel. I won't even pin it. There we go. That's it right there. That's it right there. Now I can put this away, I think. I can grab my coffee. I can say good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy. And this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. It is February 9th. It is 7:23 a.m. Happy Monday. Coffee with Ken is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, sharing some opinions apparently from time to time, sharing links to my Buy Me a Coffee page. But for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, hold on, I gotta swig some water. You know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip at this very late hour for me. My hope is wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, tell you what, it's the holiday blend again. I had a viewer send me this. Cheers, Julie. A while ago, and I didn't dive right in. And I was worried the I don't know, flavor would fade or the coffee would get moldy or something like that. I tell you what, it tasted good, and I enjoyed it yesterday. I almost drank the whole pot during the show. Where's my fireplace? I was going to move over there, but then I realized I hadn't started my fireplace yet, and I didn't want to go over there and sit in my table till my fireplace was on. Your wife's mother's last name was Tracy. Well, she was from Chicago. Well, Perhaps we're related, Greg. Uh, there aren't many relatives of mine that live in Chicago, though. There are not many relatives of mine living in Chicago. I mean, right now, holy smokes. I've got one cousin, and maybe, and her last name's not even Tracy anymore. She got married. So yeah, I don't have any Tracys that my daughter Morgie lives in the Chicago area. There's probably another one running around somewhere, but I can't think of any. Can't think of any. Tell you, when my sister died about a year ago, really dispersed the family. I mean, not overly, but she was really the anchor for our family. My brother already lived in Texas, and my dad lived with my sister. So when my sister passed, my dad moved down to live near my brother Scott. But we used to get together and, I don't know, with all her kids. She had 6 kids, so you get them all in a room, it's a big gathering. Throw in a few of my kids, and heaven forbid, it's a party. I am much better looking than who? I mean, I appreciate that, Greg. Than your wife's mother? I'm better looking than your wife's mother? Bob lost his job, but you have 20 grand. You're looking forward to a new job soon. How old are you, Bob Ballard? For some reason, I expected you to be an older dude. I'm not sure why. But I wonder how old you are. You're 34, okay. Seems a little young to retire. You're gonna have to make that 20 grand really last if we're looking at retirement. Just put it in the market and start trading. You can't lose money trading. It's what half my viewers think, because half my viewers are pubescent, pot smoking, video game people that live at their parents' house and trade for a living. I don't think you're one of those, Bob Ballard. But even if you were, I would appreciate you watching today. WMCC says they think it's common in families. You have the one family member that's the anchor. What's not common is that she dies, and she's the youngest in the family. And then you go, wow, what am I going to do for the holidays? Or where are we going to gather? You know? Oh. Now that I have my fireplace going, should I go back and move over to the table? I think I should. I think I could. You might do truck driving, Bob Ballard? Hold on here. I'm gonna do it. I don't feel like sitting on my futon. I'll tell you what I liked more than the Super Bowl yesterday was the golf tournament. I watched the Waste Management, I don't know what it's called, Phoenix Open maybe, yesterday, and enjoyed it. The poor, I forget the guy's name, Hideki Matsuyama, really choked the tournament away. He couldn't hit a driver to save his life in the fairway. was very problematic for him. Put my 20K and find another job quick, not to deplete that money. Oh, Jim Rat. Jim Rat, I'm surprised you didn't tell Bob Ballard to put that in a gym membership. Ooh, exciting news. Apparently the Y, and I guess I knew that, is if you belong to a Y, you can generally go to any Y in the country, YMCA. I told the YMCA that I was canceling my membership, and I paid up through March. So wherever I find myself, if they have a Y, and I've done some research, where I'm probably going does have a Y, I'll have a place to explore the gym, see if it's quality, and get a good workout in for the first couple weeks I'm there, free of charge. Yeah. Good morning, Shawnee. I have another story about the gym. Do you want to hear it? You guys watched my show yesterday. It was a glorious show. We had a glorious audience. An absolutely glorious audience. And I got off the show around 8:30 or so I could go to the gym, get a workout in, and then find my way to church. Yesterday was the gym in the fitness room where I push the sled and carry the kettlebells or kettlebells or whatever the heck they're called. They're like 50 pounds each. I'm telling you, you pick up one in each arm and you gotta have good posture and you walk across the gym a few times. It's pretty tiring. It feels good. That's gotta be doing something positive for something. You need a guy to pick up a suitcase. I'm your man going forward. Brought my special gel wrap things for my wrist protection. No, I got in there and the heavy bag was laying on the floor. And I go, huh. So I leaned it up and kind of picked it up to determine its heaviness. It was aptly named. It was fairly heavy. And I looked at how do I attach it. I was hoping there'd be something simple like a hook or something, but it wasn't. There was like a screw device that you had to, without going into too great a detail, to hold the heavy bag up while attaching it was not a one-person job, at least not this one person who didn't know what he was doing anyway. So, although I did get my workout in, you'll be happy to know, I didn't hit the heavy bag. So if I look particularly stressed this morning, it's only because I didn't get out all my adrenaline and anxiety hitting the heavy bag. Bob, you do whatever the heck you want to do. You want to get a truck driving license, do that. You're 34 years old, you want to start waiting tables, maybe you could do that. You might enjoy that. I think some people like it and the money's pretty good. You might make more than you thought. But you're 34. You can really do anything. You got 20 grand. You can take some time off if you want. I know it'll go quick, but it'll go quick. That's all right. And then you'll do something else. You'll be all right. I believe in you, Bob Ballard. Somebody said, you are old, man. I mean, okay. I'm wondering if somebody that's like 20 looks at me, do they think I'm an old man? I don't think I look like an old man. I mean, I'm certainly not a spring chicken. But I don't think I look like an old man. I'm not hunched over. I'm bench pressing. I'm hitting the heavy bag. I'm sexy as hell. Take that back or I'll block you. Because I don't have hair on my head, well, that just makes me streamlined, not old. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jim Rat, you know what I just noticed? And you didn't mention? Shawnee said serving tables was a very hard job for you. You have nightmares still that I didn't bring ranch table and back. Shawnee, I still do too. No, you're right. It's a hard job, but you can make a fair amount of money. And what's really cool about it is you walk out, not at the two jobs I have recently, but a year ago when I got started, and again, I was working at Texas Roadhouse and then a supper club. Every night I'd walk out with 100 to 300 bucks. You know, you short on cash? No problem. I'll go back to work tomorrow. I'll have another couple $100. Feels pretty good. And then I switched to restaurants that handled it differently. And the tips were all done through the restaurant. And suddenly I wasn't getting paid but once every 2 weeks. I kid you not. I bet $1 maybe a month ago now, with the old dude that lives, now he's old, he's like 85, I'd guess. He rides around in a little mobility scooter. But either way, we bet $1 on the Bears playoff game, and the Bears lost. I haven't had $1 to give him. I offered him change once. He goes, "Oh, you work in a business of tips and you don't even have $1? I open up my wallet and go, "Look, there's nothing in there. I could give you change." Wait, what is, somebody's agreeing with Jim Rat? I didn't hear what he said. Oh, well, you know, occasionally, Jim Rat, there's going to be less glorious people amidst our glory. Sometimes there's going to be less glorious people. Oh, Julie Flanagan. Well, I appreciate. Poor Julie Flanagan's having to do so much work. Somebody said I look like a creepy dude the girls don't like. And Julie Flanagan silenced him. Which I appreciate, Julie Flanagan. But I can handle that sort of stuff. But either way, I appreciate you, Julie, for whatever you're doing. All that you're doing. Let's have another swig of coffee. Again, I was talking to a dude yesterday, or the other day, because I posted on Facebook how I'm moving. And he said, "Oh, it's too bad we didn't get to fish while you were up here." I think the fishing's better in Illinois. Got this huge river right over there. I mean, really, I can walk to this big old river. I didn't give it that much effort, but I gave it a little effort. I think I would have caught some fish in Illinois, and I did not catch any in Wisconsin. Last summer, once, I found this beautiful lake in this really cool little town, this little resort town, and went there. I brought my fishing rod and was throwing what's called a little Senko. It's like a kind of heavier plastic worm-looking thing. And I hooked into a bass. It was a little bass though, and it fell off right before I got it in. I was just as pleased, and I didn't even have to touch it. But I still didn't catch a fish in the year I've lived in Wisconsin. I've caught fish in Wisconsin. I know they're here. I catch more in Illinois. I go to Michigan, I catch more. Wisconsin, not so much. I'm gonna ruin I'm going to trash the crap out of Wisconsin on my way out. The tourism board will never let me back in because I'll just bash it and say how much the fishing sucks. WMC says, your brother fishes. He always is getting something. By the way, we're not going to allow third-person stories anymore. Too often on my show, I get something like that where they go, oh, my brother goes fishing, and he's got an uncle who catches lots of fish. Or my sister's cousin's dog is a realtor, and they sell tons of homes. Or I knew a guy who said he once did this, this, or this, and thought substitute teaching was amazingly easy. You know what I mean? If you don't actually do it yourself, your stories are no longer valid on my show. Hope I have a great day. Well, thank you. I thought about substitute teaching today and tomorrow. I'm going to be back in the restaurant Wednesday and Thursday. I'm kind of broke. I could have substitute taught, but I talked to my friend ChatGPT and said, let's focus on moving forward and not do anything that drains your energy. And I go, good answer, ChatGPT. Good answer. Honestly, going back to a job when it's not even very high paying, that you no longer feel is going to last longer than this week. Especially when you're told you cannot give the kids nicknames. You just took about 70% of my fun out of this job and what I do. I have to learn their names. I'm never going to see them again. You expect me to remember 30 new kids' names every class? Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I have to look at the seating chart. You'd be spending the whole time looking at the dang seating chart instead of calling them Duquesne because they're wearing a Duquesne shirt. What do I use to moisturize my skull? Lotion. How do I describe a supper club? I don't really know. I don't really understand supper clubs. And again, I worked at one. I didn't do well there because I didn't get it. Old school. You go, you get a drink at the bar, you get sat, you go to a salad bar, you go get a big, huge hunk of meat, and then you leave and you pay a lot. I think it feels, okay, I worked in one, and I think it feels like you are being invited into somebody's home a little bit. So it wouldn't be surprising to have the owners there. As a matter of fact, the owners probably are often there. I don't know, I've only worked at one and I've never been to another. And the owners might even live in the building or certainly in the area, and they're very in part of the community. They are cozy, Tambourine Thief said, okay. Lots of regulars. Yeah. But again, I think they're fairly pricey. And I think if you know what you're doing, you can make a ridiculous amount of money as a server there. I didn't even know what I was doing, and I was making pretty darn good money. And they told me I had one more day to prove myself. Somebody said, quick question. What makes a question quick? Somebody said, quick question. Are you Christian or Catholic? What determines the speed of the question? Shawnee said salad bars are hard to come by. Are they? Are they? I used to go to a Wendy's downtown that had a great salad bar. I was at a Wendy's. I don't even really know what makes a salad bar great at all. I'll tell you what's a great salad bar was Bellagio in Las Vegas. But that was more than just a salad bar. I'd had like tons of crab legs and all sorts of things. You guys patient? Are you in a rush today? I know the person that asked me the quick question. Jess said expectation of a quick response. Well, that's not fair. You can't say a quick question expecting the quick response because that's putting the the pace of play on me. And they asked whether I was Christian or Catholic. Well, I'll tell you this, I'm certainly not Catholic. And I wouldn't even really describe myself as Christian. I think I believe about half the things at the Christian church that I go to. And half of them, I'm thinking, wow, these guys are really crazy around here, but I'll let them go and we'll just join together on the songs and the holding the doors and the smiles and the coffee. I know people who go to a supper club every week on the same night to see the same people, kind of like season tickets. Yeah, I don't know if they were that regular where I worked, but I could believe it. I have a personal spirituality. I do. I mean, honestly, I don't believe at all. I tried to believe everything in the Christian church, but then I read the Bible and it crushed my faith and made me think, hey, these guys are getting a couple things wrong here. I hope my biggest fan who, I had somebody that just started watching my show and they messaged me today and they said, no coffee with Ken today? I said, take it easy. I'm just waking up. Chill. If they hear me saying this, they're going to be very upset with me. Everyone has their own path. I went to church. It was wonderful. Did anyone watch my video about I Trust in God video? Hold on. I'm going to give you a quick question. Did anyone watch my video that I did outside of church that was I Trust in God? Oh. Let's see. Okay, Nancy did. All right. Then you heard the story, so you could tune out for a minute. You could go, I don't know, whatever. But either way, I went to church. It was my last time going to the Alliance Church, not because I'm angry at it, but because I'm moving this week. And it felt lofty expectations and a bit of sadness, and was hoping for the quieter, mellower band to be playing music, but it was a fast-paced band. They sang 3 fairly fast-paced songs that didn't really move me at the beginning. Keep in mind, I'd worked out my legs this morning, and the whole audience stands during this song, and I really was hoping to sit, but either way I stood. My calves were hurting. And the pastor came out. It wasn't the regular pastor. It was like the president of all the Alliance churches in the country. Apparently there's a bunch of Alliance churches. What did I know? And he gave his sermon on how God works uses people, even a nameless woman in the Bible, to do great things. and kind of left the sermon feeling like we too matter and we too should spread God's word or be good shining examples of faith or Christianity or hope. See, I think my focus is on faith and hope, not necessarily the strict Christian belief system, but either way. And at the end, the band came out and started playing a song that I was listening to almost 1 year ago as I drove up. Julie, are you still there? As I drove up from Chicago to Wisconsin 1 year ago. And I drove to my friend Julie's house and, okay, you're there. We said, hey, and she showed me my room, but then we went out and we looked for work for me at various restaurants where she lived at the time. And we were listening to this song amongst others, but there was a song that I was listening to as I was driving up, I Trust in God. And that was the song that they started playing at the end of service yesterday. And it was slow and it touched my heart and I was singing along and I was crying. It felt really good. It gave me confidence as I move forward during this uncertain week and all the things I have to do. And it was beautiful, a perfect way to end my experience at Alliance Church. So it's Monday morning. I've listed a bunch of things on Facebook Marketplace. There was a lot of interest in my bed, but really no interest in anything else I have out there. Makes me think I'm priced too high. You know, if you start pricing things at $10, you know, do you want to actually meet a stranger or let a stranger into your house to buy a coffee table if you're selling it for $10? I mean, anytime you let somebody that you don't know into your house, there's a chance they might rob you or kill you. So it doesn't really mean it's worth it for $10 to have 30 people message me to ask me if I have a coffee table if it's still available, to score $10. So I was asking 35, which apparently is too much because I'm not getting much interest. But even like $20. Just ask if I have a gun. If not, definitely no. But just even if I gotta wonder, if I'm even slightly thinking that I need a gun to have a gun for this transaction, why would I want to do it? I don't want to need a gun to defend myself. I'd just rather not get the $10. Those are my thoughts about that. But I kind of like the game of it a little bit. You're 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, no interactions with you unless you're armed. I want to make a joke about you, Jess, because you're a psychology student. Let's see. It's an online garage sale. Even at $10, people will always try to talk you down. Well, I'm okay with that. I might need other stuff too. I don't know what that means. Well, first of all, I was intrigued that you're 5 feet, 100 pounds, and 43 years old. That turned me on a little bit, to be honest with you. But then I thought, because you're a psychology student and you have a gun, I don't know. Anyone that studies like psychology or counseling, I think it's a little wacko. Good morning, Jonathan Boss. How are you? Oh, I'm not going to say anything mean other than, I mean, maybe creepy that I find you intriguing at 5 feet, 100 pounds, 43 years old. Somebody said I might need to sell other things. Yeah, well, I am. What do I have? My two twin mattresses. I have these twin mattresses. I'm telling you, I bought them for my little ones to come up. Last year, I had 3 weekends in a couple months with my little ones in a row. Augie never slept in one. I couldn't get him to stay in there, and I ended up sleeping with him in my bed. Eve slept in hers, but she's the sweetest little angel. I would consider the mattresses like new. So I get that nobody wants to overly buy used mattresses. I wouldn't either. But if I were to buy a used mattress, it would be the two that I bought for my kids because Eve's the sweetest little, clean little thing, and Augie didn't even sleep in his. I should auction stuff to my viewers, but my viewers are just, you guys aren't here. You guys don't live here. WMCC could buy everything because they're here. Jess won't come up here because she thinks I'll flirt with her too often. I like short women. Not short women that are psychology students packing guns, though. They frighten me. Oh. That's nice. But anyway, so I'm going to put a few more things for sale. I don't want to I'm a little scared to put my TV and my futon for sale because I think those might get purchased. And say I sell my futon for $100 and my TV for $100. Yes, I need the money, but say they sold today, I would have to go the rest of the week without them. So I'd have no fireplace or anything to watch and nowhere to sit. I don't know if that's worth $100. Next spring when you get your degree. All right. Well, you're going to come up and buy my stuff? No. Oh. TV probably isn't worth it. You'll get lowballed to heck because you can buy a brand new one like $200. Yeah, no, I paid like $220 for this one, but I mean, $100. It's 8 months old. I think somebody will pay $100 for that. I won't get lowballed like heck. I'd say no. It's 8 months old. It works, and it's perfect. Am I renting a U-Haul to move? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not bringing any of my things. I'm not moving to anywhere. I have no home, no place to put it. The cost of renting the U-Haul, the hassle of doing it, and then finding storage on the other end would not make it cost effective. Hey, somebody sent a floating heart. Catherine sent me a floating heart. That's the sweetest thing, Catherine. Thank you. Have I got lowballed before? I'm not worried about being lowballed. You know, I'm not worried about the negotiation. I can always say no. But I think if you offer a fair price, you get enough people in there. The worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have nobody interested. Like on my coffee tables. Now let's do this. Let's bring my coffee cup with me. A 43-inch TV goes for $88 at Walmart. Well, that's interesting. If I was discussing what a 43-inch TV is valued at Walmart. I'll tell you what, while we're quoting Walmart prices, this futon that you see with the bear's blanket goes for $220 at Walmart. That lamp over there It's one of a kind. I paid $5, but I think I could ask 20. Maybe not. That rug on the floor, I don't know if it has any value to anybody, but it might. I think my coffee table's awesome. Is that a coffee table? I call it a coffee table / TV stand. I also think is awesome. I'm not looking to, I want to sell my stuff. It's great stuff. I'm not looking for landfill stuff either. I want, at worst, at least somebody to use it. I'll tell you what, that bed has garnered more interest than anything. I got a guy that says he's coming at 6:30 tonight, but I don't know that he really will. For me, it's, I mean, again, about the lowball, it's easy for me to say no, because, again, I think I could probably get about 100 for the TV and probably 100 for the futon. So I could use that 200. But the rest of the sales are just, you know, yeah, I could use $20 here, $20 there, but it's not going to make or break me. He's probably coming at 6:30. Well, he might be. Well, Tambourine Thief, I get it, but I understand what TVs go for. But this isn't a 43-inch TV. Greg would drive to Appleton in your pickup and take my stuff anywhere I want to go. Okay, Greg. I'll cancel all my Facebook marketplaces. You know, a pickup would be key right now because it could all fit in a pickup type thing. But then I still don't even have any place to put it on the, when I get there. You know what I mean? WMCC said they used, WMCC. When you say you used to have a futon, couch, and chair, that's like a former version of yourself, which to me is almost the same as third person. I would say this futon is perfect for what it's been. It's certainly not as lush or soft as a big squishy couch, but it has been wonderful for me. And I will buy another one on the other end if I can, or if it goes with wherever I end up. Maybe I could bundle to push the items. Jess, you're flirting with you should. Maybe I could, but I don't think bundling the items would help any individual one sell. I think if anything, it'd be easier selling them separately. But if somebody wants to give me 300 for them all, what I'm thinking, okay, here's my thought. If I can get a buyer in here for something, like if it's a parents looking to furnish their college kid's room or something like that, I think we can quickly start putting it together. And they're going, well, I'd take that lamp. And then I'm going to need a table for the lamp, and start buying it all. Clothes are, even stuff you don't wear, are difficult for you to get rid of. Yeah, Chris, it definitely is. I threw out a pair of pants the other day. I've got like probably 6. The thing is, and what's easy to rationalize about clothes are easy to fit in a car. And clothes are easy to pack up small. What's bumming me out, okay, is like my garbage can. Watch, look at this. You're going to laugh at me. I'm really tired of moving and buying new garbage cans. You know what I mean? But that's a huge space, and it's dirty. So I guess I made my decision. I can't put that garbage can in my car. Right? But I'm sick of buying like can openers and plates. Plates stack nicely. Do I move a lot? Well, I've been divorced twice. Yes, I move a lot. Wasn't part of the plan. Yeah. And even in the divorces, there was getting back together, buying new stuff, and then getting thrown out again, quite honestly. So yeah, no, I've done this too often, but I'm getting pretty good at it. Maybe my landlord. No, I don't think my landlord's into the business of buying stuff and renting it out furnished. That's not what they do. I guess what I'm saying is all this discussion we're having, it's only like $500 in stuff. You know, if I sold it all top dollar, in my mind, part of it's the money, but part of it's I want somebody to get a good use out of it. Do you guys remember when I put up those pop-up tents for my little ones? I have another one. I have one that has never even been opened. I can't throw it out. I don't know. You moved 6 times in your 30. Hello, Legend of Zorro. How are you today? You know what I'm not selling is my St. Andrews picture. $500 versus throwing it away. $500 is the answer. Well, Jonathan, I don't think you're bringing all the things into play. All this discussion, all the posting on Facebook Marketplace, all the meeting strangers that might kill me for 20 bucks. Personally, I think just throwing it all out would have been the best solution, spiritually and work-wise, looking back. You know what I'm saying? All the mental thoughts. Lisa Smith said, post it early. You won't. She's right, but I posted it. I got to lower the price. I got to this and that for 500 bucks, and it's not even 500. It's probably 300. And I'm risking somebody robbing and killing me when they come. I probably would have been better, or would be better, canceling all my Marketplace ads and just taking it all out to the dumpster the day I move. Maybe make a couple trips. Well, Lisa Smith, that's just crazy as well. Now you're adding thousands of miles of driving and tons of gas to save $500 worth of stuff. And continuing the discussion. I think what I need to do is save the things that it needs saving, like that St. Andrews picture, and not worry about the rest. Might want to keep my skillet and some plates and stuff, but those can kind of stack nicely together. The garbage can cannot stack nicely. If you don't have a lot of time, I actually have a fair amount of time. I have all week, and I'm only working Wednesday and Thursday. So I have some time, and I do okay, here's the answer. I kind of like the sport of trying to sell it. And apparently we all do as well, because you guys are interested in this conversation, and it's only over a few $100s worth of things, although it's very spectacular looking. Original art, I don't think it's really original art. I think it's just a print of a picture of St. Andrews. But to me, it means a lot, and I've had it a long, long time. Were we talking about throwing away clothes? I think we were. By the way, Jim Rad, are you still there? I will definitely. Oh, anyone want to know what Rebecca Tilley's talking about? She said, make sure I take Julie's painting. Oh, yeah, that's Julie's painting. It's not Julie's painting. It's my painting, but it is a Flanagan. I'm waiting for her to kick the bucket, and then I'm going to put it on the market and sell it for millions. That's my retirement plan. How's the health, Julie? Ken, I'm going into the doctor's today. Oh, really? Something serious? Can you ship some stuff? Well, Jess, you just posted about realizing about this. Where would I ship it? Where do you ship? How much would it cost to ship a $100 futon or a $200 TV? I think what I'm saying is I bought so prudently that the value of it is outside of some personal value, because it's been a part of my adventure. You know, I'm going to miss it, but there's really not a heck of a lot of value. WMCC or Tambourine Thief isn't begging me to not throw out that futon. And Julie Flanagan lives in Wisconsin too. I don't have any of you guys saying, oh, I'm going to come and get that futon. I really want it, you know? So outside of some sort of, that picture, for instance, has some value to me, but it's personalized value. The futon, I know I could get another one for $220 at Walmart when I get there. Oh, my tummy just started rumbling. Oh. That is a great fire, isn't it? You know the greatness of the fire, what it reminds me of? Is the gloriousness of this audience. Is the glory of the audience. The greatness of the fire is only surpassed by the glory of the audience. Jess, how did you think I had a new place already? You've been on my show commenting for days. I haven't slightly mentioned I've had a new place. As a matter of fact, I very clearly mentioned I don't know where I'm going. Hello, Chris. How are you? Can I still call you Apartment 420 now that I know your name? Can I still call you Apartment 420? All right. I mean, outside of being a glorious audience, I don't know how much I have to say. It's Monday morning. It's 8:15. It's kind of nice when I sleep in. And get my show started late. I don't because if I get started at like 5:30, it'll be like 7 o'clock right now. And this is kind of confusing because it's not 7 o'clock right now. It's 8:15. But imagine it was 7 o'clock and I go, I don't really want to go do anything. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning. But at 8:15, I feel it might be more appropriate to go to the gym or what have you. Jess, Jess, I was so intrigued by you about 45 minutes ago when I learned you were 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, and packing heat. You were my dream woman. Now you're telling me you're barely listening. I went grocery shopping yesterday. It's weird when you're moving in a week to buy groceries. I bought a bunch of stuff, and then on the ride home, I pulled into an Aldi. I don't know why. I think I wanted a better deal on the ground beef I'd already purchased. And there wasn't a better deal at the Aldi. And I was looking at it and I'm going, well, I already bought ground beef. Why do I need more? What am I even doing in here? I might have said that aloud. Then I got back into my car and drove home, turned on the golf tournament, and rolled into the Super Bowl, had wonderful nachos, had a little bit of ice cream. You'd be proud of me last night for the small amount of ice cream I ate. I don't know that it was super small, but I'd say it was normal amount of ice cream versus me eating a third or a half or even 3/4 of a tub. By the way, we got 72 people watching. We got 34 thumbs up. Don't get me wrong, I think it's glorious. However, I would appreciate if anybody new here would hop on and double tap that screen and give me a few more thumbs up. I think that'd be awesome. I would tell YouTube that my show is super fun and push it to a bigger audience. Jess said, oh, so I'm only interested in her looks and guns. Yeah. And I don't even know if you're good looking, Jess, to be honest with you. But I'm hopeful. You say that every week at Walmart. Why am I here? I'll tell you what really probably brought me into the Aldi is in the back of my mind, I wanted to get there. There's like some indulgent trail mix, and it's like $6. It comes in kind of a brownish orange bag, and it's got like peanut butter chips and chocolate chips and white chocolate chips and a ton of them, and a few nuts and stuff. So you feel it's healthy or protein filled. But yeah, I think that's probably why I was there. Yeah, so if anyone would double tap my screen, I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, it would help push the audience or push the video out to a larger audience. Plus, it kind of boosts my ego if we got 50 thumbs up. James doesn't like raisins. I'm not a huge fan of raisins either. I am not a huge fan of raisins. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. Any chance we can be up to 50 thumbs up? Double tapped as you came on this morning. Well, I appreciate that, you WMCC. I do appreciate that. I should do, Do you see what Legend of Zorro just did? You see what Legend of Zorro just did. Does anyone know why I put him in timeout? As far as I know, it was a first offense. Let's see. Well, not specifically advice. He used the two nasty words. I don't remember what he said. He might have been spot on, but it doesn't matter. I got a hard and fast rule here. You were getting hot chocolate. I think I could be hooked on hot chocolate really easily. I think I could be hooked on hot chocolate really easy. You all should get some hot chocolate. Did he curse? Well, he did, Jack. He said you should. Again, that would be like me telling you all that you should get hot chocolate. And then you having to tell me I'm diabetic, I'm allergic to marshmallows, I gave it up for Lent, and this and that. When you say you should, you're telling somebody what to do when you have no idea what's going on in their lives. Mocha coffee instead. Well, Rebecca Tilly, hot chocolate is your dessert coffee. Yeah, again, I could get hooked on it and be swigging it all day and end up taking in like 3,000 calories a day from hot chocolate because it's ridiculously good. And it offers that warm, soothing to your throat feeling. You're gonna make some hot chocolate now. Tonight or now? Good hot chocolate is glorious, Jim Rat. Would you say hot chocolate is more or less glorious than the audience we have today? I don't understand what you're asking, Rebecca Tilly. Do we have chocolate over here? All right. Again, anyone can drink anything they want on my show. It's Coffee with Ken. So Coffee with Ken does sort of imply that you guys are having coffee? Is that correct? Does the show name being Coffee with Ken, does that mean I'm having coffee or you're having coffee? Have we ever not had a glorious audience? I'd have to defer to Jim Rat for that. Jim Rat, have we ever not had a glorious audience? Greg said he recently had the salted caramel hot chocolate at Quick Trip. It was amazing. There was a show. Can't even name the show. So I won't even bring it up. But there was an actor in the show. And it was about 25 years ago. I think I watched it when I was dating my first wife. We watched it. And they kept saying, I think they kept overusing the word amazing. And I hadn't really thought of the show in many, many years. But I saw a new show coming out that the male actor from that show is going to be starring in. He's aged fairly well, but he's aged. Time goes quick. Time goes quick. Holy smokes. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio on the Titanic. He was a baby. You know, it doesn't seem that long ago. I don't know, have we ever not had a glorious audience? Tambourine Thief brought up Seinfeld's Elaine with Breathtaking. I saw Seinfeld last night. While I was flipping through my channels on the YouTube TV, I came across Seinfeld was on one of the channels, and I watched it, and it was wonderful. It made me think. There's a scene where Jerry and Elaine are outside of a fruit shop. It was the one with Donna Chang, by the way, if anyone's wondering what episode. Donna Chang, who is not Chinese, who gave advice to George's parents and told them to stay together. But then when George's mom realized that Donna Chang wasn't Chinese, she was actually just a woman from Long Island, she decided to get divorced, still get divorced, because she's not going to take advice from some woman from Long Island. But anyway, George hopped out of a car and was talking to Jerry and Elaine outside of a fruit stand in New York City. And it almost made me feel a little bit sad that society has changed like it has. And I don't know if society has changed or I've changed or you've changed as with me, because those, life wasn't perfect for me in the 90s, but I remember watching Seinfeld every week and feeling like connected to society, because the following day we would go into work and we would talk about the funny thing that happened on Seinfeld. But in today's society, it kind of feels like a lot of us work from home, or we are staring at our phones this whole time. And there was just something nice and simple that people would get together. And again, I don't know if it's just me or has society changed as a whole. I don't think it's just me. My life certainly changed. I mean, I was 30 then, I'm 57 now, so clearly there's going to be some changes. But there was something nice about people getting together and them meeting at the coffee shop and talking about life, and not just exchanging texts or emojis. And I think, I don't want to get too caught up in it, because I could turn off the phone and it's not just me, but I think society's kind of weird now. Is it COVID? Is there an expectation that we're not going to get together and work together in a place of work? There's too many shows for that kind of interaction now. Yes, it was more personal talking face to face. It's technology. But you know what I mean? I watched it for like 6 minutes. And Jerry and George, and maybe it's because we're older. Maybe Elaine and George and Jerry were probably in their mid-30s back then. None of them had kids. They all kind of lived a single-ish life. They dated. Maybe it's not the technology, maybe it's the aging. Because now I'm older, they're older. They probably don't hang out with their friends like they used to. I doubt Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David hang out like they used to, like they did back then when they created that show. I'm not talking about too many shows. I'm talking about, and maybe that's part of it, the way they lived in that show is they hung out and they had friends and they got together and they told stories and they had relationships. And again, I think the issue is now, me and my friends have grown, and we don't hang out socially anymore. You know what I mean? Is that the case for you guys? Do you hang out as socially with your friends? Like I was talking about a woman that was messaging me this morning. It's easy to get a text or a message, but it's hard to get a phone call or a coffee date, not even a romantic date. It's easy to flirt, but it's hard to do anything bigger than very superficial chatty. Like, even with, I don't know, Jess. I don't even know where you live. But it's easy for me to joke and say she's cute and she's 5 feet, 100 pounds, she's a gun. It's like, but it's hard to actually get together with a human being, I think, a little bit. Different friends for different stages of life. Lisa, I had the same friends. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I haven't developed new friends. I'm still with the same ones, and we've all aged. Jess says that's a 20s and 30s thing. You think older people have family responsibilities? Yeah, and I'm not saying they were like partying, but they were just kind of hanging out, and they had friends, and they were getting together for coffee, and they were walking together, and I felt life used to be like that for me. And watching that show maybe yesterday put me back into the time when I was single. My friends were all single. We were all meeting at the coffee shop and doing things together. But then we went and got married. Okay, Jess says you don't hang out anymore. You used to have many friends. Now you just have a few. Okay, so you're feeling it too, but it's, okay, so maybe it's not technology. Narendra's talking about the phones. Okay, John said maybe I miss my friends. Maybe I do. Narendra says she loves her own company. I do too, but I spend too much time by myself. It would be nice to have a circle of friends. And again, I moved to a state where I don't know anybody. WMCC says, agreed, you don't have social media for that reason. You know people socialize on Facebook. You tell you'd rather talk on the phone, not text or social media. Well, aren't you watching me right now? Wouldn't this be social media? Tambourine says, I think we're older and we don't put up with a lot of superficial BS. Hence our circle is much smaller. All right. So, okay, so maybe it's not a societal change. Maybe it's not a societal change. Ever Happy Dude said this show must take a heap of my time to potential to be with others. I mean, not really. It's 8:30 in the morning. You know, I don't think it's that, really. I think it's the fact that we're aging. And we have several people here saying we don't even want to hang out with people. We'd rather be by ourselves or this or that. Or maybe this audience, okay, raise your hand if you're divorced and watching this show. I wonder what percentage of my viewers are divorced. What would you guess? You think it's as we get older, more responsibility, families to care for and work. Whenever we have free time, we have to rest. Okay. Okay, Ever Happy Dude, Narendra's divorced, Tilly's not, WMCC's divorced, JN is divorced. Jonathan's not divorced. Tambourine Thief's married 25 years. Slightly over half. Greg's been married 39 years. Dej wanted to hop on and say, I look like Hank Schrader. Okay, not answering the question, but either way, I've heard that before. I can roll with that. Okay, so so the good news is, maybe it's not society has changed. Maybe, again, society hasn't changed as much as I thought. Maybe the issue is we're just aging. I'm just aging. I'll own it for me. You guys do what you want with it. And when you're 57, you don't hang out with your friends like you do when you're they happen to all be in their 20s and 30s, and we're all single. And even when you are single and you're 57 and most of your friends are still married. Okay, here's somebody said, in the 80s, your parents hung out with more people than you do now. Jack Taylor said, solitude is different than loneliness. Jonathan says they think divorce is up because social media. We are constantly connected to our spouse. Back in the day, we had to break from spouse instead of constant contact with them. I could imagine. I could see that. Yeah. Like, okay, if you're married and you go to work, you might have the opportunity to like miss your wife back then. But now you'd be texting all day, possibly. Kraft says, you remember the mid-90s, everybody in their mid-age was all partying. I don't know what you mean by mid-age, but okay. Chris said, he lost his last friend because he got divorced, wasn't happy with his life, and started to resent mine. He was miserable. Chris, are you married? I don't know if you are. Jonathan said, yeah, when you get home, you already know what they did all day and nothing to report. That would be weird. I think in my second marriage, we were business partners in real estate. So we were together all the time. But if we'd worked in different professions, and you go to work and she goes to work, or you go to work and she stays home with the kids, or vice versa, or whatever, I could see it being problematic checking in 30 times a day with how's your day? What are you up to? Sort of texts. Any moment you get bored, you can reach out. Chris is going to be married 18 years in June. Way to go, Chris. My ex was either on the drink or on, sorry to laugh, just your phrasing of on the drink or on the internet. Never worked, so I had to, all right. You were with them all day, recipe for disaster. Yeah, it was straining. You're gonna peel off your skin and reveal I'm a lizard. I don't think so. You remember your parents going out all the time, taking you. We hardly look at our phones. Wait, let's see. We are a glorious audience. Jess, you failed at dating. You're becoming problematic, Jess. Now you're a failure at dating, and you pack a gun. Wait, hold on, Greg said something here. Greg's wise. Tough when you're friends with a couple and they get divorced. Who do you stay friends with? I know. Social media led people constantly lusting over strangers. Back in the days, there wasn't such a distraction. Yeah, it could be. 13 years later, you're happy and is dwelling in the past. Let's see. Get off the internet, you old geezer. That's so hostile. If you have a hobby, you have a passion. If you have a passion, you have a community. If you have a community, you can find friends. True. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I have to think about that too much. And if I got to think about it too much, it's boring me. But we do have a glorious audience. We got 62 people watching. We've got 46 thumbs up. If you'd be so kind, double tap that screen. I think it would be greatly appreciated. And I'd love to get over 50 thumbs up. I'm gonna get a little more coffee. 47. Think about the cannabis culture. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Good at dating, bad at texting. Hanging out with friends and laughing is actually so important for your health. Well, I don't have any friends up here. I sort of felt like I was watching the game or the golf tournament with my buddy because we were texting about it, but that's not the same. But again, I think that's an age thing more than a societal thing. Yeah, I think that's a societal thing. Not or an age thing, not a societal thing. Rebecca said it can be a lonely life. Again, I don't feel overly lonely, but I just was watching Seinfeld and they're always hanging out. And I think in the 90s, I kind of lived that life. I remember hanging out with all my friends all the time. Take effort. It takes effort to make new friends as an adult. Probably true. Greg, have a great day. Have a great day, Greg. Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to hang out with my friends and be laughing. Somebody said it's hard to trust people as you get older. I think dating's certainly different. Like Jess was talking about, and I'm jokingly kind of flirting with Jess here, but she and I have both been divorced. And if you get two people that are divorced or Narendra's talking about her husband and sounds like she's angry at him, Narendra, it sounds like you're still angry at your husband. You say he hasn't let go, but I'm not sure you have either. Church groups. I'm looking forward to going to church wherever I land. Getting a church established. I don't think you are over him, Narendra. You mentioned several times hostilely. You mentioned him hostilely several times on my show. Narendra. Yeah. Yeah, Narendra, you have. And you have. I know you have. And you probably know you have. And if you're doing it on this show, you're probably doing it in real life too. And I'm not saying you're wrong for it, but you might be wrong in thinking you've let him go because you haven't. He still matters to you. Because you just mentioned how he always tries to get together, Ken. He still needs verbally abusing me to his friends. But a little bit, you're verbally abusing him to us. You brought up several times that he was always drinking and he was abusive and this and that and this and that. So I'm saying
you haven't gotten over him. You might not want him back, but he's still living in your mind. You do your best to not talk about your ex. You already got enough of my time, says Jess. So when you when you start dating, like you start, Jess, that's a good attitude, but it's hard. So when you get two divorced people together that are, like I was talking to some woman and she was the other day and she was, and I'm not saying I'm above it, but she was bitching about the father of her kids and this and that. And I don't think she's not in love with him anymore, but she's still emotionally attached through children. A little bit. And I think that complicates it for sure. Kids complicate it. But it'd be hard. Like, Jess and I jokingly say we go out. Maybe we'd have a great time. We'd talk psychology, guns, coffee with Ken. Maybe it depends on how ugly it ended too. Might not want to deal with it again. I don't know. Okay, well, Narendra, you said because idiot people come out and tell me and it's childish behavior, but it bloody annoys you. So I'm just saying, Narendra, if I'm on a date with you, you're going to be telling me about how annoyed you are that your ex-husband's drank and this and that. And I'm not scolding you or trying to, but I'm just saying when you go out with somebody and they start talking about that stuff, you're going, well, this sucks. If Jess is 3 of a 10 in looks, would you go out with her? I mean, I'm not particularly searching out an unattractive woman. You're asking if I'd go out with somebody that's unattractive to me? Probably not. I don't want to go out with somebody that I find unattractive. Yeah, looks are subjective. So if I found Jess attractive, it wouldn't matter what other people thought of her. But if I found her unattractive, I probably wouldn't go out with her. I wouldn't expect her to go out with me if she found me unappealing either. If Jess ends up being a 3 of 10, well, I'm not going to go out with Jess. And Narendra, I'm not trying to even pick on you. I'm thinking of myself. I think I'm at a place maybe a healthier place right now. Hey, AJ. Thank you so much. AJ sent $1.99. By the way, what kind of currency were people sending me the other day? They sent me 40 or something, and it only came out to 45 cents. I'm still thankful for it. But I think I'm in a healthier place. Poor Jess. Jess, don't worry about. I feel for you, Jess. I feel bad that you had to just say that about yourself. Somebody's saying currency exchange. Hello, somebody. Atanas Stoikov. Every time you hear AJ, you think of RJ. I can't even remember. Are we talking about AJ? Oh, AJ. How often do you hear AJ? AJ's the guy that just threw in the money. Hello, I am glad you're new. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. You are part of this glorious audience that we're having today on this Monday morning at 8:53. What does my day hold, I'm wondering? I'm probably going to go to the gym. I'm probably going to throw out some clothes. I am probably going to list a few more things, maybe my futon, maybe my TV, on Facebook Marketplace. I might drop the price of everything I have on Facebook Marketplace by $5, just for fun, to see if that creates any activity. Again, it would be easier just to throw it all out than try and sell it, but maybe I like the game. But I'm looking forward to my day. I am looking forward to my day. And I want to thank you so much for joining. Let's see. All right, Rebecca, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you for hopping on and joining me this morning. I appreciate you. And honestly, I appreciate all you hopping on today and being part of this glorious audience that was Coffee with Ken today. I appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope you are, what does my shirt say? I know it's backwards, but I bet you can read it. I was gonna hang up, but somebody asked, what does my shirt say? If you gave me an extra $6, will I deliver it in New York? Yeah, obviously. I'm gonna drive there right now. If you gave me an extra $6, I am on my way. It was hard. I was just hanging up on you guys. Duquesne Dukes basketball. It's a college just outside of Pittsburgh. Well, somebody just subscribed. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome for you all subscribing. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining today. I got to wrap up because I'm excited about going to the gym. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. You are feeling good. You are loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.